Dad, we want a bigger shed. We haven't got any room or any money to build a bigger shed. So at the moment, we're sticking to 6 chickens and that's it, I promise you. Okay, good morning. We are back on the farm this week, and there is a little element to the first part of this video is a mixture between farm and house build. We're sort of towing this line right here. And the reason for that is this stable block. Now, when we first bought this site, it was just under 11 acres and there was just this stable block here. So that was back in 2014, I think, from memory. Now, this stable block wasn't in the best of repair when we bought the place, but now it is absolutely going to ruin. The shed's on this side, the roof for collapsing in, a decent gust of wind and them two will be over. These ones are slightly better, but it's still that rubbish undulate material on the roof. They're all leaking in, the bottoms are rotted. It's not good enough to put horses or ponies in anyway. So at the minute, what we've used it for... Hey, hey, shh, filming. So at the minute, what we've been using it for is while the work on the rest of the farm had been going on, we'd had to dig one area up, which there was a cable that run all the way around the main farmstead. And on that cable, it was like a barrier to stop Tanya the guard dog getting out. While that work was being done, we had to disconnect that cable. And unfortunately, that is the point in when we've had visitors and we've had to create this bird cage because she is like Houdini. She just keeps getting out. Now the cable is back up, so this is her house during the day so we can lock her away so she doesn't eat the postman, and in an evening then she's back out to having full roam of the farmstead. So if anybody decides to come onto my farm during the evening and think they can do their own thing, be warned, you're going to get eaten now. And if you don't get eaten by her, I am here. We've got the new camera system fitted now, up and running with all the alarms on, so then you're going to have to face me secondary. But what we're planning on doing here is the kids have been asking me for God knows how long they want some chickens. So my first initial thought process was, go big, let's get a load of chickens.
Look at all those chickens.
Sell the eggs, we're going to make a fortune. I've been talked out of that and I don't like the smell of chicken shit. So we're going to go the polar opposite to what I would ordinarily do, and we're going to tone it right down and just get a little handful. This is going to be the kids' little project. So they've drafted in Papa G and asked him for some help, and he's made us a coop. Come and have a look. So what they've done is Papa G has built this coop bit in here. So we're using this sort of 15 foot by 15 foot stable. On the rear side, which there's a patch of ground there that's pretty much sort of gone to rack and ruin. So we've had Philip in, he's come and put some fencing like what we would use at work, so it's about 6 foot tall. And then on the outside of that, he's put us a low level electric fence to keep any foxes and things like that that we don't want in out. So the idea behind this is that this hatch here can get opened up, they can have the run, and then in the evening we can put them back in. Papa G has made a proper chicken hutch so we can open the back, we can get the eggs, the kids can do that then. And I have said to the kids they're their eggs, so that if they're their chickens, their eggs. They've come up with a whole business plan on their own, they've sat down and worked it all out. I think they want 6 chickens, and by that they're going to get a dozen eggs every couple of days. We're not going to eat that many eggs, but they reckon they can sell them to us and then to friends and family. So that's their business idea. They've come to me with this bit of a business plan, and they've basically asked if they can borrow a small amount of money to buy the chickens in the first place, the feed and the bits and bobs that they need. They've worked it all out really well actually. And then after that, they're going to pay me back about £3 a week to pay off the debt. I haven't worked the interest rate out yet, but they're going to have to pay some interest. So the idea is, this is going to have a lid put on. Obviously you can slide that off. You've got a door that goes in and out of here so that you can get in to clean it out. And obviously the back opens up so you can grab the eggs and go. If we go around the back, round here, round the back, the little hatches at the back there, we've put this fencing round. Obviously at the minute, everything is just overgrown. I'm thinking the chickens will sort that out completely. We'll trim them around the outside where the little electric fence to keep the foxes out and stuff that we don't need. And this will be obviously the coop. So there's not really a lot I can do with this space here, and ultimately I suppose when we've made our minds up of what we're doing and planning and all the rest of it with the stable block and rebuilding it, then we'll have to rethink where we're putting them. But ultimately, I think they'll always end up in this area. It's far enough away from the house that we won't smell anything, but at the same time, it's close enough to the house that before the kids go to school in the morning, they can come and grab the eggs, or they can do when they get home, whatever they want to do really. And in an evening, they can come down and easily just put them back away. So that's the idea behind this. I do have a slight worry. My children are very much like me and Ed, and there is an element of go big in them as well. So I am concerned that when we've got 6, that they're going to see that they're repaying their debt plus the interest that they're going to owe me, and there is a slight possibility that they're going to see the pound signs and go, Dad, we want a bigger shed. We haven't got any room or any money to build a bigger shed. So at the moment, we're sticking to 6 chickens and that's it, promise you. So now officially on farm business, we have got the sheep's back up here now in this little paddock by the house. The grass has actually started to grow. So we've got plenty of grass in there. So we brought the sheep's back in there. We've got some fat cattle in this shed here. So these are the ones that we're just finishing off now, ready for market. And speaking of market, for the first time since we've started selling fat cattle, this last week, we did not top the market. So Mark, I don't know what's going on. You need to obviously get yourself and get your head back in the game, because every single time, with the exception of the Christmas market, we have topped the market with the cattle that we've sold. Now I know what you're going to say. Mark's going to sort of try and tell you that it was just, you know, some of the lesser quality ones that we had to get rid of, and, you know, they were ready to go and it just was what it was and the market wasn't quite there. But Mark, you've hit the top of the market every single time. So that's 14, 15 times, I think it is, in a row you've hit it, and now you've lost your winning streak. So I want these to put you back on the top. Okay, so moving on to the suckler herd now. Now, if you remember way back when, we split the herd, and as they were calving and they were ready to go back out to the bull, we split the herd. Sam had some, Udo had the others. I haven't forgotten either about Mark's offer of coming to work on the farm for the day if we pick your name for Udo. But we haven't done that as yet, and we're not going to do that this week. In fact, we're going to split this into a 2-part video. So this is your fair warning. We have had plenty of suggestions for Udo's rename. If you haven't already commented, drop a comment in or private message lee.gilbert1 on Instagram and give us your thoughts for Udo's rename. Now, one of the reasons we haven't done it as yet is because I didn't want to get too attached, like we did with Sam, by naming him if he wasn't going to work. We've been PDing, there has been good results, and Udo has been working his socks off. He's been working up a sweat. He has been going to town in here and serving pretty much everything. You see him all the time. And in actual fact, fingers crossed, we're PDing next week, Sam too has been working. I haven't seen that. Mark has seen Sam working, and fingers crossed, Sam is back on the scene as well. So he doesn't now need to go like we've been worried about for the last 12 months. But calves are looking absolutely fantastic. I am chuffed to bits with this. We're lucky enough, we were running real short on grass this year. I think a mixture of the way that the weather has been, how it's been cold as well, and the grass has not been coming through and growing quick enough, as well as we've got a lot more cattle than we had at the start of last year. So I've been very fortunate that I get on very well with my next door neighbour, and they've let us basically borrow their field for the time being to graze our suckler herd on. So thank you very much to next door neighbours for allowing us to do this. It has made a massive difference to us. For this week though, that is it. We will continue this video next week, and the montage will be at the back end of next week's video. So as of now, if you like what you've seen, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and you'll get a little snippet montage.